Okay, once again, welcome to our second session of geography. Today we'll be discussing agriculture. But before I get into details, I just want to remind you that we've covered population studies, we've covered settlement studies. We're not going to go into details with that one again. Once school has begun, we'll not cover the topic as well. Good. Starting today, we are beginning with agriculture, which is unit 9. Very important, the specific objectives. You are expected to know your specific objectives. Now, in this unit, you are expected to describe agriculture as a primary activity. Number 1, you are expected to describe farming as a system with reference to input, the processes, and the output, as well as the feedback. So those are among many the specific objectives which you should be able to know. Great. To begin, agriculture as a primary activity. So when we are starting agriculture, we need to look at it as a system. Now, as a system in terms of the input, the processes, and the output. So the input are the things that one puts into in order to begin the agricultural business. The processes are the processes which undergoes a certain activity in order to produce that product which you may require or which you may have as an end product. And then the output are the things which you get once you have put in investment and once you have undergone through various processes. Okay, now agriculture involves the extraction of goods and raw materials from nature, turning them into finished product through various processes. An example, if you take seeds, you plant the seeds and then you are able to harvest crops. So that one, the input, you have your input as seeds, the process. Then your process, you need to watering, for instance. You need to cultivate. And then your end product or your output are the things that you get. So for instance, you get mahangu out of the seeds that you have planted. Okay. Now let's look at farming as a system. Farming as a system, we need to look at it from the physical inputs, which are the raw materials, the land, the energy, the power, ability to access the climate. So those ones are the physical input. And then we look at the human inputs, such as labor, capital, transport, the market, the skills, and the knowledge, as well as the government policies, which may influence the physical input or the human input of the farming. Then we go to the processes. The processes involves now, if for instance you are doing car assembly, so the process there, it should be assembling. So you can also do painting, spraying, marketing, and drilling. These are all processes. And then in turn, you need to get your output. Your output are the things that you get in once you have invested your time, once you have invested the resources, once you have acquired the land, the raw material. Good. So what do you get out of that? For instance, if you are assembling a car, so at the end of the day, you're going to get a vehicle. As your output, you're going to, from the vehicle, and then you're able to sell, then you can have profit. Good. Again, for output, we have what we call, not only we have positive output, we also have what we call negative output, which are the waste product. The waste product, they also form part of, the output. An example of the waste product, we have waste material. For instance, if you are doing a fishing processing company, when you are producing the fishes, the internal organs, you need to dump them, you need to throw them. They are waste materials. And then another negative output, for instance, we can look at is pollution. You see? So these factories, they produce a huge sum of pollution, which lead to, which contribute to which leads to atmospheric pollution. Good. Now, once you have your output as broad, you need to look at now feedback. What are you going to do with the output that you have? You have made surplus profit, for instance, so you need to reinvest to bring it back as your physical input or as your human input to pay for the workers, for instance. You have gained knowledge. You are able to gain research and development into whatever you have ventured in. So this can all be seen as a collective, as a farming as a system. Good. Now we have 3 types of farming systems in Namibia. The small-scale subsistence farming, like the word says, small scale. So it uses a small amount of labor It uses small portion of land and little capital which is needed to start up. Usually these farmers, they use traditional tools and methods in order to produce whatever product they need. Basically they just produce for own consumption, and whenever they produce surplus, and then maybe they can sell for profit. Number two, so you need to know where are these types of farms or farming located within Namibia. So this map is provided to you in the notes. Do go through the map. For instance, here if we look, the subsistence farming is located in the northern part of our country. That includes all the way from the central northern regions, which is Umsati, Oshana, all the ways to the eastern regions, northern eastern regions, which is Zambezi and Kavango region, and all the ways to Rakana and Opuo. So you need to go through them. Let me not get into details as time will not allow us. Moving on, the second one is a small scale cash crop farming. So this is farming which involves small scale and intensive farming. Large amount of labor is needed and capital is well needed. So an example of that is millet mahangu, which is produced in the central and southern part of Namibia. Then we have the large scale, which is the third and last, large scale commercial farming. This is farming which is extensive, meaning it uses a large area of land, small output per hectare. An example, we have pastoral and arable farming. So a summary to explain those three. So we have small scale subsistence farming, small scale cash crop farming, and large scale commercial farming. Please do revise through. They are simplified nicely in the table. You need to know in terms of the farming system, the scale of production, the method of organization, and the products which are found in each type of farming. That brings us to the end of our lesson for today. We shall continue with our next lesson, which is on industrial systems.